2 years ago on a Friday night. I had a bunch of calls and a voicemail and a call from my doctor saying I needed to call the breast imaging center as soon as possible. So on a Friday night, about 10 minutes to 5, I called, yeah, I'm just returning your call. And the lady's hysterical. She's like, I've been trying to get a hold of you all day. Our computers are down and I can't find your file, but all I can say is the doctor says he has multiple levels of concern. Who does that? Who does that on a Friday night? So all weekend, I think to myself, well, surely it's nothing. You know, it's one of those errors. It means nothing. I bet I moved during the mammogram, and the multiple levels of concern just means it looks like I have 3, and maybe that's all it is. But when I get there, they don't put me into the lobby like everyone else to wait for the doctor. I go to the dim light conference room. Have you ever been sent to the dim light conference room? And there's just a lamp and a box of tissue and no People magazine, and you know this is going to be bad news. And the doctor came to me and said, I'm sorry, Lisa, but you have breast cancer. And I got the gift of those 5 seconds. Have you ever had those 5 seconds? You know the ones where everything starts going through your head. But I didn't get a chance to, but I was going to want to say, but I was going to those 5 seconds. 5. We met with the oncologist, and he says, a double mastectomy is recommended. I met with a plastic surgeon, and it is just as horrible as you're imagining. It was unbelievable, horrible experience with my middle-aged body, 4 children, and I'm sitting there unclothed from the top up, and he's looking, and he's thinking, and he's drawing, and he's taking pictures. I mean, it's just the worst thing, and he's looking around, and he's like, yeah. So what are you thinking? What do you want? And I said, well, can I just have what I have now? And he says, and he looks, they don't make them like that. And he says, what size do you even think you are? And I said, well, I don't know, like a 36D-ish or something like that. And he looks at me and he said, I'd say those are more about a 38 long. He has a box of samples with him, and he says, I'm not going to use the saline or silicone. I've got a whole new kind, and they're from Brazil. And I'm like, Brazil, Indiana? And he said, no, like Brazil. Hot! That'll be awesome. So a few weeks before the surgery, a friend calls me in, and she says, have you talked to any other breast patients about, size and stuff like that? No. A week goes by, have you talked to anybody about breast? No. Okay, fine, come in here. Not a soul knows this, but 5 years ago I had an augmentation, and those plastic surgeons do not know how too big is, so you better get yourself some pictures and march down there and tell them what you want. I don't want to do that. So I found a website, and I got some pictures, and I downloaded them on my iPad for my next appointment. I did ask my husband if he had an opinion. Honey, do you have an opinion? And all of his eloquence and wisdom. I'm in charge of computers at a bank, and one day before the appointment, I'm working on my computer, and I noticed the network is getting kind of slow. And the tellers called and said the transactions are not going through. Something's bogging down our network. Oh, I was trying to resolve that. And as I'm looking, I notice on one of my computers that family photos are showing up on my computer right beside me. I was like, oh, in my stress with all the surgery, I bet you I signed on with my personal iCloud account rather than the work iCloud account. Oh, such a cute picture of the kids. Oh, that's, oh my word, there's breast downloading on my computer. I'm trying to stop it. And the tellers are calling, and my new mail assistant is like, what's bogging down our transaction? What's bogging down the network? My breasts are bogging down the network! Give me a minute! And I got the gift of those 5 seconds. You know the ones. The ones where you think, I can't believe I'm doing this. I didn't think I'd be doing this. This is not what I wanted to do. 5, 4, 3. And the surgery was over. And the mastectomy was done. And laying there in the hospital bed, I was unable to move my arms. And my breasts were gone, and I had tubes hanging off of me. And I knew at that moment I wanted to be an investment manager. Not the kind you're thinking of stocks and options and cash and calls and puts, but the kind of investment manager of those 5 seconds. The kind of investment manager that manages the time and the relationships and your life the way you want it. I'm not asking you to quit your job. I'm not asking you to start a new career. I'm just asking you to consider being an investment manager of those 5 seconds. Thank you.